That's got to be close. Yes, indeed. That kept a little bit low and darted back off the seam, and it's the first breakthrough for Australia. Greg Chappell achieving it himself from the city end. And Brearley was beaten there by the movement and the lack of height. And that looked to be very plumb. Umpire Bud at the far end. And Mike Brearley is out LBW to Chappell for 10. 19 for 1, England. No change in the field. Randall facing his first delivery at with a score at 19 for 1. And that's a very good piece of bowling from Greg Chappell. Well thought out. A bouncer at medium pace, and Randall was drawn into the stroke. Marsh did the rest, and that is good thinking. The last thing in the world Randall would have expected from a medium pace bowler would be a bouncer first up.
Barlow to bowl to the left-hander now. Barlow's got 2 slips and a gully in for him. Useful ball too, first one. Fortunate to get away with that. Swung very late, got committed to the shot, but managed to keep it on the ground. Found the gap there between slips and gully. And the third man very square, he collects 4 runs. Incredible shot there. It's by no means a hard volley, that. Just let the bat go through, hit it on the up. Didn't quite time it properly, but struck it very forcibly through mid-on for 4. So Barlow overhauls Amis now. Found the gap this time, more of a gentle push. And Richard Robinson doing the fielding. Cover point, probably enjoying a spell there in the outfield. A fine wicket keeper on here as second wicket keeper to Rodney Marsh. But very good cricket in his own right. It was a great season with the bat in Australia, and last domestic season. Going all around the wicket now from Barlow. You can see how quick he is between the wickets. Another good example of running between the wickets. Fairly hairs the first one and allows him to come back for a good second. Crowd appreciating that. And that's a simple catch, and the bowler's done it again. So an amazing performance this by Greg Chappell. Took wickets in successive balls in a very brief spell of 2 overs to begin with. Comes on and immediately breaks this partnership, getting rid of Barlow. So Barlow, the third man out. He's made 25, the total on 67, and presenting a little dolly catch to Hughes at mid-on.
Ray Bright is a new addition to the attack. Bearded left-hand spinner. Fairly flat through the air, but he's turned in some tidy performances on this tour so far. Little fortunate. The French cut or the Harrow cut or the Melbourne cut, whichever part of the world you happen to come from. Nice bowling action there from Greg Chappell. A little bit of good luck for Dennis Amos, who has gone on now to 26. Good shot. It's Right in the slot for Peter Willey. That's a good shot. Not a very good delivery from a medium pacer bowling that short, but Amos is very quickly onto it. Doesn't normally hook, but the ball coming at that pace doesn't pose too many problems. He's given him out. Amos didn't seem at all sure. Everyone else seemed to be quite happy about it, and there looked to be a certain amount of deflection there. And that's another one down. Another bowling change. Not a particularly distinguished stroke to a ball. Very, very wide. He did well to reach it, as a matter of fact, and the Australians have struck a fifth time with 84 runs on the board. Willie the man out. Courtmarsh bowled Cozier. Well, that's well bowled. That must be out. That's the straight one again after a series of in-swingers, and that must have hit middle stump, I should think. About halfway up. 84 for 6 now. Alan Knott dismissed LBW to Cozier for naught, and what a triumph for the Australian medium pacers. That's Chris Holt's favourite shot. He's beaten the man on the fence at cover point. It's a fine shot. Last ball of Cozier's second over. Oh, good catch. Good catch. Cozier, 3 wickets. Greg hit that with great power through the cover area, not far enough away from Greg Chappell, who snapped it up very, very low to the ground. It is 90 for 6 now. Tony Greig out without scoring. Caught Greg Chappell bowled Cozier.
That's in the air but safe. Go through for 4 runs. So boundary there to Chris Holt, bringing up the 100 for England in the 30th over. Malone now too old. He's found the gap again. That's a very fast outfield here at Birmingham today. That'll race away for 4, square on the offside. No great power at all in that shot. Nice piece of timing.
It's in the air, but safe and 4 runs. Sargent can't get that. More expensive over for Greg Chappell. 7 coming from that. Crowd sensing now that this is a very good fight back from this 8th wicket pair, and that between them they're giving England the chance of a victory, which at one stage seemed most unlikely. Kim Hughes, he's caught him, and a good catch too, because it looked at one moment as though that was going a long way down the ground, and it took Hughes some time to pick it up in the background of the stand. In the end he caught it safely, although possibly just at the second attempt. 145 for 8 now, with Chris Holt caught Hughes, bowled Greg Chappell, who now has 5 for 19. And Max Walker. A good shot. splendid stroke from John Lever.
Amazing, a successful spell here this morning by Cozier. Went into lunch with figures of 3 for 4. And he's got 4 now. Big wild swing there by Derek Underwood. Cozier picks up another wicket, so Greg Chappell and Cozier have shared all 9 wickets that have gone down. Total on 160 at the fall of the 9th wicket. Underwood out. That's well taken. Useful ball, the outswing, a little edge. Willis goes, caught by Marsh off the bowling of Cozier. He's got a big smile, and are you surprised? Who would have thought when this match started that Cozier and Greg Chappell would share the wickets between them?
Oh, indeed, but that was a useful English recovery from 90 for 7 at lunch, thanks to the dash of old and the application and sound sense of John Lever. Much of the earlier England batting had been undistinguished and careless, to say the least. And here's the evidence of those medium pacers. Greg Chappell 5 for 20, Gary Cozier 5 for 18. All the others bowled well, but they had no reward. Well, it seemed at the time that if England were to win this match, they would need to bowl pretty well and Australia to bat pretty poorly. Both requirements, in fact, were met. Bob Willis worked up a fine head of steam from the city end, and here he is in his first over, bowling to Ian Davis.
And that's into gully, and it's gone. Oh dear, that was a bad shot. And young Ian Davis, really out of form. A very, very simple catch indeed to Chris Holt in the gully. Well, the ball, not of really great pace, bounced a little bit, and Davis couldn't keep it down. So Willis to Greg Chappell. And he lets him have a bounce of first ball, and he's got it away. But what's he done to himself in the process? He twisted as he hooked that ball away to the long on bound. I think he's got a smile on his face, and it looks as though he's going to be all right. That's another good shot. Useful ball. Oh, the best one he's bowled today. Good enough to beat the batsman and beat the wicketkeeper as well. Went away from Greg Chappell like a fast leg break.
Good shot. No need to run for that. Willis to Sargent. Bowl him, good ball. Coming back in the air and darting in after landing on the seam, and Australia 2 for 27 now, with Sargent bowled Willis 2. Bob Willis has taken both wickets. Davis for naught, caught hold in the gully, and now he's bowled Sargent for 2, has 2 for 10. Bob Willis is in his 4th over now. Cozy is not yet off the mark. He is now, but it's only the single to Lever a third man. Lever to Chappell. Ball him inside edge, onto the stumps, and that could be the blow for Australia. Certainly it's the breakthrough England wanted so badly. Greg Chappell was in good touch, and Australia 31 for 3 with his dismissal bowl Lever for 19. This is Cozier facing Lever for the first time. It's given him out, as would ever do, umpire Ali. And John Lever has struck again to take his second wicket in 34 for 4. Lever bowling to Hughes. Oh, that's well bowled. You could hear that one from here as it flicked the edge of the bat. And Lever's having a very good day here and must be getting close to qualification for the man of the match. John Lever to Rodney Marsh. And he's out. Last ball before tea. A good catch by Chris Old. Lever has hit back again, and Australia are 38 for 6 at tea. That was a useful delivery from John Lever. Lively in pace, and it got up sharply and cut away from the left-handed Marsh.
G. Robinson, like McCosker, a bank representative. Works in Melbourne. Very tall for a wicketkeeper, 6 feet 2 in height. Doesn't stop him pulling that short one, bounce away from Lever. Good boundary there to Robinson. That's a bottom edge. Fairly scurried there past Tony Greig at second slip. Gave Lever at third man no chance at all of cutting it off. So that brings up 50 for Australia. But they've lost 6 wickets in achieving it. Too much about that. That's a fine piece of work there. But it's going to give 5 runs. Barlow swooped onto that. I suppose in this sort of situation it was a chance worth taking. Willie making a desperate effort to back up there, not able to cut off the overthrows. So 9 overs now, 4 for 25. Robinson now on to 12. First 50 here has taken 80 minutes. And he's bowled him. And Robinson couldn't believe it. Kept a little bit low, that, and he looked at the pitch. Couldn't believe that that one had got through. So Chris Old comes into the picture now, breaking a partnership which looked like being a little bit stubborn. They had it 20, and Robinson really there playing as well as anybody. So he goes for 12, bowled by Chris Old, and that makes it 58 for 7 for Australia.
And the form of the wicket end, very great.
Well, they expected change here, Tony Greig. A mixture of cheers and boos from the crowd here, marking out his run of his first bowl of the day. They're looking for a wicket or 2 here. One of 4 Englishmen to get naught earlier in the day. Rundle himself, Alan Knott and Derek Underwood. All out for Blongers, and he's coming in now to bowl to Road Right. And Walker's come a long way. It's got to be a run out. He's thrown it to the wrong end. It's chaos. Yes, he's done it. So 3 changes of mind there. And Max Walker, the man to go, a run out. At one stage, Peter Willey could have thrown to either end. 2 men strand it together in the middle of the pitch. Greig to Bright. Away through Rundle's hand. Very swift on the chase. And did exceedingly well to keep him down to 1 run. Greig to Malone. He's off the mark. Squirted it away down to Underwood at third man. There's only 1 run in it. England won't be displeased with that because it was the last ball of Greig's over. So Chris Old to Mike Malone. And Malone pushed that. If it hits, it'll be close. And he's run him out. Superb bit of cricket there by Rundle. He's even applauding himself. He's over the moon. He absolutely loves it. Well, one felt that Malone was taking a chance there because Randall coming in like a hare had in fact time to steady himself and judge the throw very accurately indeed. So Jeff Thompson, Australian pace bowler at the far end, lever to bowl to. And no bother at all in nudging that away down to third man for a single. In fact, Jeff Thompson's best score in a test match was on this ground. Got 49 against England a couple of seasons ago. Tickle away, wide right to long leg. One more. Still looking fairly intense in that crowd there. But staying here to the end. Presentation take place, of course, at the end of this match. R.A.S. Wyatt, former Warwickshire and England captain, will be making his choice of man of the match. Just be a single there. Peter Willey on the long leg boundary. Had a quiet match, missed out with the bat, hasn't been called upon the bowl. Been very much a seam bowler's wicket here today. Holt to Thompson. It's high in the air, should be all over, and he's dropped it. Well, would you believe it? Never have a better chance than that to walk off the field. Little Skyer, Chris Holt, insisting it was his, wanted to take it to finish off the match, and it slipped through his fingers. Thompson going for the big hit. Over the top, getting right underneath it. Chris Holt moving down to take the catch, almost ready to walk off before he caught it, and away it goes. Good looking shot for no runs, straight to Randall at square cover. Lever is last ball due now. Well in contention for the man of the match award. Greg Chappell on fields with 5 wickets and Gary Cozy with 5 wickets. Lever made 27, was out there for a couple of hours. That could well swing it his way. So Lever takes the sweater once again. Gets a good hand from the crowd. They know that's his bowling done for the day, and finishes with 11 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 29. And those 4 wickets taken in the space of only 16 balls at a cost of 2 runs.
It's a good shot. Nice little chip away over mid-wicket. Timed and quite deliberately hit away through the mid-wicket area, picked up from round about the middle and off stump. Harper was batting well, but really there's not much else to talk about from the praise point of view. A very poor batting display. Tony Greig. Bowl him, and that's the game for England. 171 to England, and then Australia out in 101 minutes. A dismal batting effort. Jeff Thompson, the last man out, bowled by Tony Greig for 3. Australia made 70. And England won by 101 runs.